Prince Michael of Greece, a man born into the highest echelons of European royalty, led a life marked by unexpected choices, significant sacrifices, and profound personal convictions. Cousin to monarchs like the late Prince Philip and the kings of Greece and Romania, Michael was initially third in line to the Greek throne. Yet, in a dramatic turn, he renounced his royal succession rights, all in the name of love. His decision to marry Marina Carella, a non-royal artist, shocked the aristocratic circles. Marina, with her non-royal lineage, stood far from the expected social class of royalty, but for Michael, love prevailed over the rigid traditions of monarchy. Their wedding was private, an intimate family ceremony devoid of pomp and circumstance, signaling the couple's rejection of royal conventions. This bold choice to step away from royal life allowed Michael the freedom to pursue a life marked by personal passion, deep love, and a dedication to the arts. Despite turning his back on the formalities of royal duties, Michael did not shy away from a life of public interest. His inherited fortune allowed him financial independence, and together with Marina, they became fixtures in the social world, mingling with celebrities like Mick Jagger and Andy Warhol. Yet, beneath this glamorous exterior lay a couple deeply affected by personal tragedy. In 1995, a devastating scandal would forever alter their lives. Michael had been a supporter of a school in New York, sponsoring a young girl named Eliza. However, tragedy struck when Eliza was brutally murdered. The loss devastated Michael and Marina, shaking them to their core. In the aftermath, they established a child abuse charity in her name, a cause that would define the latter part of their lives. The tragedy and subsequent charitable work exposed the deep empathy within Michael, revealing a man who, though born into privilege, was acutely aware of the world's darkest corners. Away from the horrors of that tragedy, Michael was a man of artistic inclination. Throughout his life, he indulged in literature, writing several books, one of which explored ghost communication, a testament to his ever-curious mind. He contributed to the world of arts and letters, writing columns, traveling, and continuously engaging with the artistic world up until his death. Despite the weight of his royal pedigree, he managed to create a life defined by personal fulfillment rather than public expectation. In later years, reflecting on his cousin King Charles III's ascension to the British throne, Michael's perspective on royalty was telling. Far from feeling envy or regret over his choice to step back from royal responsibilities, he was candid in his preference for a life lived independently. He expressed no desire for the weight of royal duties, content with the path he had chosen, one of personal freedom over formal obligations. Prince Michael passed away at the age of 85, with his funeral taking place in Athens, a city whose history and culture he had long admired. His death marked the end of an era, a final chapter in the life of a prince who chose love, personal integrity, and artistic passion over the gilded cage of royal duty. In many ways, Michael's story is a bittersweet one, a man who could have had it all, but instead chose a life of purpose and personal fulfillment. He renounced his title, distanced himself from the royal spotlight, and lived not as a prince bound by duty, but as a man free to follow his heart. And yet, even as he lived independently, the tragedy of Eliza's death, and the charity founded in her name, is a stark reminder of how deeply personal sorrow can touch even those born into privilege. The world may have known him as a prince by blood, but Michael lived and died as a man of his own making, leaving behind a legacy defined not by crowns and titles, but by love, art, and empathy.